Hey everyone, Daniel Ramsey here with MyOutDesk. I'm so excited that you guys are joining. We've got a special guest today, Jonathan Matoyer from Land Voice. I'm really excited about him. He travels across the U.S. Speaking. He's actually on the road right now, and so we were lucky enough to pull him away from the audience that he was just in front of and get a couple minutes with him. If you're here today, we got a lot of free giveaways at the end. So, stick around, and there's three things that you're going to get today. So I'm going to introduce Jonathan in just a second. But if you're here, number one, and the most important thing is we're going to show you how to drive a ton of new business to your company utilizing this one strategy. So the good news, we're actually going to provide value here. We think that, the number two thing, we think that in 6 months you can double your business using just Land Voice and just this one particular strategy. And so Jonathan's put together kind of not only a free guide, but a checklist, another video, and we're going to dive deep into how to do that. But Jonathan, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
That you're here. Let's just jump right in. Let's get going. And I just want to remind everybody too, we've got the chat bars here, so if you have questions, please stop us, because Jonathan and I, we want to just help and provide value, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Any questions, totally welcomed. Yeah, we're really excited to show you guys, how to gain an endless supply of listings. And we're going to give you a step-by-step checklist on what all of the top agents are doing right now to just crush their farm and just have their open houses packed. So I'm excited to share, the tools Land Voice is providing to real estate agents to receive those type of results. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. And what I love too is you guys have something like 12,000 clients or something like that. So we're not talking about like a small little slice of America. We're talking about like the top teams, the top agents across the country. This is their strategy. We pulled it from them. Jonathan crowdsourced a bunch of information that normally doesn't get given out. So I'm super stoked about that. But let's jump in, Jonathan. Like, how would somebody use Land Voice to really accelerate growth within their company?
Well, we have a lot of different tools, but what we're going to focus on here is what our agents are doing to get literally an endless supply of listings, have their open houses packed. We're going to center it around open houses. We're going to talk about a circle prospecting system that will give all of you the ability to literally map out any targeted area. Type in an address, target 100 homes or 200 homes around that targeted address, and obtain phone numbers and all the information you need from any homeowner around that targeted address to basically compete for new listings and invite potential buyers to open houses. So I'm excited to show you guys our back into the system and get started with the presentation here. As you guys know, leads are the lifeblood to your business. We definitely believe in having a tornado of business going around you. Land Voice is known for providing cell phone numbers for expireds. We're known for providing for sale by owner, leads to real estate agents to compete for the low-hanging fruit every morning. And if you guys are really trying to step on the gas and have the maximum turnout for open houses and be an aggressive, circle prospector around your geo farm, Land Voice has all of the tools, all of the secrets to help you guys be efficient and effective in your market area. Without leads, you almost have like an expensive hobby. So Daniel, what we're going to talk about is the neighborhood search. It's a simple tool, as you guys see here on the screen. It's an easy way to grow buyer and seller business. So if you have any questions, Daniel, as I'm going on, I'd love to chat and converse back and forth with you regarding, different topics and what our agents are doing out there. So, please stab in there anytime.
Yeah, one of the things I was going to say is you guys said lifeblood, like leads are the lifeblood, and I totally get that, and I think that's important. I used to call them air, like they're the air.
Yeah. We breathe air to your business. Yeah.
Because, like, without them, you just suffocate, right? And
it's that important. It's that important.
Yeah. And one thing, what I love about Land Voice and what we're doing today, this is the number two. It's the number two source of business within the real estate world. The number one being referral, repeat, kind of all of that work that you do around creating your sphere of influence and your database and all that, previous and past clients and all your buddies. That's the number one way to get business. But the number two is this. And so I'm really excited. We called it air. Without air, you can't live. And so, yeah, this is exactly the point. So how does this work?
So how the neighborhood search works and what we're doing here, if you guys could just imagine a system that gives you the ability to circle prospect any targeted area. We're going to pull up the, there's a door in the background. We're going to pull up the targeted area, and you guys basically have the ability to type in an address. You can map out 100, 200, or 300 homes, or you can write it out on a map graph. And you hit the submit button, and we give you all of the neighboring homeowners' information, the phone numbers, everything that you guys need to get in touch with them right away. There's a lot of literature here on the screen, but when it all comes down to it, guys, all of you should be aggressively farming a specific area. That's where a lot of our real estate agents gain new listings, just by touching their community and constantly reaching out regarding new properties on the market, providing value regularly, putting consumers on a timeline, on where they're at in life. And that's how our agents get new listings around all these new areas. So we have a lot of new scripts, proven scripts that our agents are using right now to get listing appointments and show sellers that now is the time to put your house on the market. Homeowners have been getting more money than ever putting their home on the market in this year. And that's why we need to act now, why interest rates are low. So without further ado, I kind of want to get past a lot of the mumbo jumbo on the screen and show you guys the platform that our agents are using to circle prospect any targeted area. So this is what it looks like in the back end of LandVoice. You guys have the ability to just type in the address. If you have an open house, if you have a new listing on the market, even a just sold property, of course, you can use the neighborhood search circle prospecting system to reach out to everyone all around it. And what I love most is you have unlimited searches. We're not limiting you to 10 searches a week or 20 a day. You have the ability to pull data from any targeted area and get the homeowner's information. So you just write in the address, the city, the state, and the postal code, and you hit the submit button, and right away LandVoice is providing you with all of the homeowner's contact information.
So I have a quick question with this.
Yeah, stab in there. Let me hear it.
So I've got a good friend who's in Atlanta, and they own a huge property management company, and they just started a real estate division. I'm actually talking to them later today. One of the conversations that we're going to have is like, how could we kind of dominate a particular farm or area? And he's got this new team, and there's like 5 of them, and they're just building up this real estate kind of army, right? And as you were talking about this step, I had 2 questions. I wondered, can you export all of this lead data into an Excel kind of spreadsheet and then create a custom audience around Facebook and deliver like audience specific, neighborhood specific targeted leads into Facebook that you then can call, that then you can create an open house, that then you could door knock and like create this like systematic process to just
you're nailing it. You're nailing it. That's exactly what a lot of our top real estate agents are doing, especially in social media. If you can see, I know it's a little small, in the top left-hand corner of the screen, it says download CSV. And a lot of our realtors, on every single search that you make, hundreds of searches, you have the ability to just hit the download CSV file, export that data, and do targeted specific searches in social media. LandVoice actually provides you guys with marketing material. We're going to get into that a little bit later, what type of flyers, postcards, mailers, door hangers that we're providing to you to aggressively market, a specific targeted farm area or around a targeted address for a new listing, etc. So yes, Daniel, we highly recommend that the realtors export the data. If they have any systems they want to upload it into, any CRMs that they're comfortable using, it's very easy, and we train and teach you how to do it. And we also have classes and different training calls. If you're not that familiar with social media and really how to target a specific area with this data that you're exporting, we can show you the steps that you take to do that. It's very easy. And once you have the tools, the phone numbers, and you know the specific area, it's really a piece of cake once we help you kind of fill in those gaps.
Okay, so this is why we have you on this call, and I'm so glad you're here. Picking your brain is going to be so valuable for our audience. Okay, so if I'm a real estate guy and I'm trying to build that neighborhood farm where I dominate, I live near downtown, and it's a nice little area. There's about 5,000 homes in my neighborhood, and they're all above 500,000 to $1 million. There's some couple million, but they're nice homes, right? Absolutely. And if I diving into the real estate game and choosing an area, I'd choose that. But I don't know if 5,000 is enough. I don't know if 500 is enough. Like, how do you determine what your farm should be in this particular, like, within, and then what would you do? Let's talk about that.
I'm glad you're bringing it up. It should be comfortable. Your farm area should be comfortable to you. The area that you're aggressively pursuing shouldn't be far from your home or your office, and the areas that you like to accumulate listings. We tell our clients to start off small. If you're not really focusing on a specific community, I know the area that I live in, there's a guy that aggressively markets to our community. His name is Bernard Smith, and he gets every new listing in the area, and he's only been doing it for a good, I'd say, 6 months. It's not going to happen overnight, but we have all of the material for you guys to constantly feed them value. Free home evaluations, different postcards or mailers that they would get where they could engage and call into a specific system and obtain information. So it's all about you constantly putting yourself in front of that consumer on Facebook, on Instagram, obviously through mailing campaigns, door knocking. I would say if you're not covering a specific farm, to start low with the first maybe 200 to 300 homes in a circle radius. And once you feel like you really saturated yourself in that area, if they brought up your name, they would know right away who you are, then you would expand. And slowly but surely our clients, they have listings that trickle in. Your hard work pays off when you farm. People need to see you regularly. They need to know that you are the neighborhood specialist, that you have sold this many homes in this specific area. And what we're doing here, apologize. I should definitely, that's my partner. My partner, twin brother Brandon, he's at an event right now in Florida. And we actually were conversing right before this webinar, so I apologize. He's probably getting back some data that I needed. But not to lose my train of thought, you start around maybe 200 to 300 homes, and you saturate yourself in those areas. You're constantly sending them data. We have an area for you to go on Facebook. We can show you guys how to find a specific targeted area on Facebook and reach out to the people that you are calling through Land Voice's phone numbers and that you're door knocking. And if you're constantly giving them at least one marketing campaign every 2 weeks, you're definitely doing what you need to do to make yourself known in that market area. That's the least. We say to do at least maybe 2 marketing campaigns a month. Land Voice helps you with all of that. If you guys are not familiar with exporting data and creating labels and sending out postcards or mailers, it's a piece of cake. It's very cheap and it's highly effective. We have a system that actually allows our clients to never, ever, ever miss an opportunity to follow up with any of the leads that they're getting. And we're incorporating it in all of your marketing campaigns that we're providing you. It's not new to real estate. I'm sure you guys know of the 24-hour call capture technology. If you're not familiar, you guys know the 800 systems that some realtors have on their signs that buyers can call into and listen to a professional recording. Well, we've taken it a step further, and Land Voice has designed very catchy pre-recorded consumer tips. They're the best webs you can ever put out in any community. They're typical real estate questions that we put on your mailers and postcards, like call and find out how to make your home more appealing with our low-cost tips. Things that homeowners would like to do to spruce up their property. Everybody likes to upgrade, especially with the style and the way our community, and just the way homeowners are nowadays. They like the upgrades. They like tips on remodeling. So we put a lot of consumer tips like that help you appeal to potential sellers. Learn 5 ways to speed up the sale of your home in today's market. How do you prepare a home to sell? How I can sell your home faster and for more money than any other realtor. We've designed these really catchy tips that we put on your material. And these things are super, super hard for these consumers not to call in. Our realtors, on the mailings that they send out, our normal response, our average realtor is getting anywhere from 30 to 50 calls a month on the 2 campaigns they send out.
Okay, how much is it cost? I mean, okay, so I got 2 questions. I'm going to start with the first one. If I actually do mailers, like, how much am I spending? Let's say I want to do 1,000 because my area is 1,000 and I've where I want to go. Like, so I've got a 2-part question. How much should I be spending on mailers? Number 1, because I've never done that.
Right.
Number 2, how do I exclude like the renters, the investor owners,
I'm so happy you brought that up. Yeah. LandVoice gives you the ability to filter those guys out of this. When you do a neighborhood search, one of the things that you don't see on this screen is we have different check marks to exclude pre-foreclosures, renters, consumers that you wouldn't want to waste your mailings on. And you shouldn't pay any over $50. If you, literally for 1,000, we have different outlets that you guys can go to right away with professional material that we actually email you. We email you a PDF, you approve the artwork, and you send it to our referrals. And they can get you guys at least, you shouldn't spend over $50 on 1,000 different postcards or flyers, or, you don't need to overdo it on the lamination. And, the company will talk to you through different options. But we have a very reliable and inexpensive source if you guys are not just saturating your community with you. We have a great outlet for all of you guys to take, so you can constantly send out mailers and door hangers and show your face regularly, and even send out different types of, you can have fun with it. This company provides like magnets and different things like that will, keep you on their fridge, and that's all a part of farming, just having that constant contact. And we help you develop systems that you just incorporate every single month. You do the same exact thing to the same farm. And the cool thing with LandVoice is all of your searches here on the screen, they stay stored. So this is important because every time you click on a specific targeted address in a different area, it pulls up all of the information around you. So it's very easy to come in here, download the information, and send off another mailer. Or if you already have it on a CSV file that you use, you can consistently use that CSV file. We teach you just the basics of doing this if you guys are not that comfortable with it, but it's highly effective. Our average realtor that's doing this, they're literally doing anywhere from like 5 to 10 listings a month that are aggressively marketing their farm area, just by farming, by hosting open houses for other realtors in their farm area. If it falls into their farm area, it's definitely something that you guys should do. If you have a realtor that happens to get a listing in your farm area, which happens, we want you to host open houses, hopefully on the non-busy days for that realtor in your farm. This is still a way for you to reach out to your community because they know you.
Yep. Well, okay, so we're going to talk about open houses because we've got some strategies around that. So you've got the 24-hour recorded property information thing. So somebody calls, they put in 311 and pound. How does that help me win the listing or get the buyer? Like, how does that work?
Okay. Well, for one, when you're sending these types of flyers, and we create these exact templates that you guys see here, like for postcards and door hangers, the bottom line is it's non-confrontational. For mailing campaigns and internet advertising, you want a non-confrontational appeal because that's what helps you generate literally an endless supply of buyers. It gives them what we call caller reluctance. It kind of, that just goes out of the window because they see 24-hour recorded info, and that caller reluctance of them being in fear of not asking the right question or turning down the radio or getting their kid to be quiet, it goes out the window, and they call right into the marketing campaign. So it helps our agents generate an additional 200 to 300% more potential buyers when they do mailers, because of that non-confrontational 24-hour recorded aspect to it. So we're packaging this up for you guys. For any new listing that you put on the market any open house that you're hosting, you just send us the address. And what LandVoice does is we go online, we find the photos. Obviously, we kind of prepare a template for you that you approve, and we send it back to you in a PDF. And you send that directly to our outlet for mailers, and you get a box in the mail with your door hangers or your postcards or flyers. Or they do the mailing for you. That's another option. They do the mailing, or you can, basically just print out copies and they'll send you a box. But we highly recommend. Go ahead.
And it's all automated. I don't have to have my assistant do it. You guys just do it all for me. One of the conversations we're having, and it's coming up more and more, is like automated kind of prospecting and automated processes within a business, because everybody wants to grow their real estate team and scale it up. And what you guys do is all the leg work around creating the flyers, getting the mailers ready, all the pre-recorded stuff. So all that's handled. I don't have to have my assistant do it. They can focus on helping me generate revenue while you guys do this kind of non-dollar productive stuff.
Yeah, that's where the realtors make more money. They're not going to make money sitting behind their computer most of the time. They make a lot more money establishing new relationships, shaking hands with homeowners and getting new listings. So LandVoice automates all of this. We don't want you guys sitting behind your computer, looking for different homes, unless you're just, pulling up a farm area. You get all of the information and you send the request to LandVoice, which we teach you in our training calls on how to do that, which is a super simple automated process. The only thing we need from you is to send us the address and whatever extension number you want to use. You can pick any extension number you want. There's no limit. And we just prepare the marketing material, and we basically go whatever direction you want. If you want to send it directly to our printers to get postcards, flyers, or mailers, we can send it for you and copy you on the email. So that's what most of our agents do. If they want to do mailers or postcards, they're like, here's the address, make me a recording, a postcard, and a flyer, and send it directly to your referral partners and copy me on it. And you guys don't do a thing but approve the artwork. So it's all about working smarter and harder, and using, systems and technology to better your responses and obviously get your bang for your buck out there. Well, I'm sure a lot. Go ahead.
I would use this as I would do probably 2 ads inside Facebook, but I would use this as my ad also inside Facebook. Once I've exported all the neighborhood, and then I just send a retargeting ad and spend.
Yeah, you have to. It's that easy to do it. It takes you guys, like 2 minutes to post a picture on Facebook. LandVoice sends you the JPEG so you can post it in your social media outlets. Yep. But if you guys are like, Jonathan, I don't want to post anything. I don't want to go on Facebook and post it. I don't want to go on Craigslist. I don't want to go on Backpage. I don't want to go on KGG. I don't want to go on any of those free websites to do this. I want you to do it. We do it. You guys give us your login info. If you trust us to go into your Facebook to post it every morning, we'll do it. If you have a Craigslist account and you don't mind if we log into your Craigslist account to post it, we'll do it. Wow. That's what LandVoice does to make sure you guys, are out there getting new listings, and we're doing all of the back-end computer work.
I love it. Okay, let's keep going. This is good. I didn't realize how deep you guys went with all this stuff, so this is cool.
Oh yeah. We dig in deep, not just around the farm areas, guys, but Facebook, of course. Once you start friending different people in your community on Facebook, it's important for them to see constant advertising. And obviously, LandVoice fills that gap by creating you marketing material, posting it on Facebook, Craigslist, Backpage, KGG, all the free websites. We actually have a website that we posted on that spits it to 4 different websites for you. So we work smarter too. And
KGG. I don't know if that's a silly.
It's more popular in Northern California, but it's totally growing in popularity out here. It's just like Craigslist, except the security is higher, and you don't have a lot of fake posting and different things like that. KGG and Backpage, they're 2 other free websites like Craigslist that get a ton of traffic. A lot of buyers look on KGG, Craigslist, Backpage for properties, and those are the 3 free websites that a lot of consumers go to that don't have to pay a penny. So those are definitely places that you guys all should be advertising in, especially if we do it for you.
Yeah, for sure. Do you guys, what about like Zillow and like all the syndication sites? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
how do you interact there? Do you guys have a connection there, or once we have the material from you, we can throw it into Zillow and all the other syndication sites?
Yeah, Daniel, that's how most of the agents do. If you guys have any, subscriptions with Zillow or, any other websites that market properties on a broad scale, LandVoice does the marketing material, and we help you post it in those websites. We send you the material that basically is acceptable for the websites. We usually have to send them an HTML code of the flyer. So I would hate for that to go happen. We usually send them an HTML code. Guys, remind you, I'm totally not in my office, so I haven't even booted up my computer here yet. I just set up shop after I did a little presentation, and I do not want this to die on us. So excuse me.
That happened to me a couple months ago. I was
no way during a webinar.
Well, no, I was in the RV with my family, and we pulled off. Gosh, where were we? We're like Wyoming or something like that. And I was next to the water, and I was like, oh no, I got to plug in. And I was on a webinar. So it happens when you're traveling. So guys, we're lucky to have Jonathan here today. So yeah. Okay. So
yeah, thank you guys.
One thing that I do like too is you, as a broker, and I'm a broker and have been since 2004. When I added properties to the MLS, I like to add attachments. Like I like to put a flyer there. I like to add the pest report. I like to add the appraisal that we had done. I like to add all that information because once it's there, then it would syndicate out, and it was just more items to kind of look at. And it gave buyers the confidence to say, oh my gosh, this listing agent really knows what he's doing because they have professional photos here that just look great. And so
it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
I would definitely suggest that you take professional photos, get something like LandVoice to create these awesome flyers and postcards and all these door hangers and sign writers and all that stuff, because the better your listing inventory looks, the more probable you're going to net the highest dollar amount for your sellers. And
absolutely.
That's what this game's all about.
Yep. Yeah, you definitely have to have obviously a beautiful look. Buyers know what they want. Obviously the photos, they're a huge deal, especially with all the social media right now. Photos, they probably have never been this popular. So it's huge to start with a great photographer or somebody that could take really crisp photos and create, you see a lot of different types of campaigns with filters and different looks. It really helps the property shine brighter. And like you said, posting a flyer, if there's an attachment area on those websites with your 24-hour technology. And we spoke with all of the different websites like KGG, Backpage, Zillow. They have very strict, requirements as far as what they accept. And we know exactly what we need to provide you in order for it to be compliant, especially with your 800 system. You can actually put your 800 system in the wording with your listings. You just have to word it correctly. And we're going to show you guys all these secrets that are allowing realtors literally to generate an endless supply of buyers on their listings, not only online, but throughout all of their farm area. And I'm excited to hold your hand and show you these steps that you could duplicate and continue to do in every farm area that you decide to conquer, however far you decide to spread your wings.
Yeah, and this is what's beautiful. I mean, what I like about this is a tool. You break up, if you look at all the real estate people in the world, about 11% of our population does 80% of the business. And that's why you guys have 12,000, clients, because there's 1.2 million real estate people in the country, right? So that number is about right. So this is what every time I talk to a guy who's putting $1 million in the bank every year because he runs a really successful real estate team, like they are using some system like LandVoice, or quite frankly, most of them are using LandVoice. So I think it's great, and I want to make sure we're casting that vision. This is what most successful teams are doing, and Jonathan right now is breaking down step by step what the process would be. So what's next? After the call capture, we get information, and then we're prospecting those people and say, hey, I noticed you called about my property. You know, obviously you got a chance to drive by it. You know, what's your in that neighborhood?
Yeah, well, guys, when they call into any of your systems, especially the 24-hour technology, within 1/4 of a second after they disconnect from listening, you get an instant notification on your text and your email of the property address, where they found it. Was it on a flyer, a postcard, a door hanger? So you know exactly what marketing campaign it came from. You get the buyer's cell phone number, even if it was restricted or blocked or private. Our technology screens the number and sends it to you within 1/4 of a second. So you have the ability to literally do things that other realtors can't do as far as following up at the height of a consumer's interest. So that's what happens after. You know, they engage in the marketing material. They call into one of the extensions. The second they hang up, if they don't choose if they don't choose the option to connect to you directly, you'll get an instant text and call them back right away at the height of their interest and say, hey, I saw that you called into my postcard that I sent out to my farm over at 123 Main Street. Yeah. I definitely have knocked on your door a couple of times. I know your property really well. I wanted to make sure all of your questions were answered regarding the property you called in on. Do you know anyone that's looking in the neighborhood? Were you just curious on the pricing? Where are you at? And it's just a way for you guys to never miss an opportunity to follow up and be consistent, because consistent and persistency wins every time.
Right. I want to so NAR put out this report, and I've been using it for years, and I really think it's great. They did a survey of all the buyers out there, and they said, what are the top 10 things that buyers want from their real estate person? And what you just mentioned is, tell me about unpublished or non-public information about the house. Like, you know, features and benefits about the house that I don't just see from the outside or from the flyer, you know, so they want that. That's the number 4. Like, I remember number 1 is like, help me negotiate a great price, use your vendors and all the people in your sphere to help us, you know, make this process smooth and get everything I need. So it's usually twofold, right? You're either going to give them knowledge about the industry and all the connections that you have, or you're going to help them find the right property with all the right features, right neighborhood, right schools, right bedroom count, and all that. So those are, like, according to NAR, they surveyed thousands of buyers, and those are the 2 things that were most important to buyers. So
I'm glad you mentioned that, you know, because in our recordings, the realtors, they have the ability to put those types of messages in their extensions. You know, like, if you're looking to buy or sell in this neighborhood that I've grown up in and know like the back of my hand, simply hit 0 and directly connect to me. If you're looking for a free home evaluation to find out how much home you could afford, hit 0 and connect for your free home evaluation. So we have so many different things that realtors incorporate in their recordings that it's really easy to get these consumers to want to press this button to take action. Or, you know, if you guys are listening to a recording, we professionally record these, but if you wanted to, we can make you your very own professional recorder. And for farming, that's huge. If you're describing different tips for homeowners in your voice, if you're describing properties like Daniel was saying, every nook, corner, and cranny, what you can find in MLS, what's in the neighborhood, the amenities, how long the treehouse in the backyard's been up. I mean, obviously, we hear a lot. If you're the one describing that, by the time you talk to your consumer, they already feel like they know you. I'm serious. When you call them back, they're like, oh my God, yeah, Jonathan, right? Yeah, I listened to your recordings and extensions. Thank you for the valuable information. I got a lot of info out of that. And they feel more comfortable with me than I do with them. And that's what a good system does for you.
Yeah, well, you just nailed it. Look, people buy for 2 reasons. They either know you or they trust you, right?
Totally. Yep.
So if they don't know you, you need to shorten the time frame from when you meet to the moment they say, I'm trusting that person. And
Absolutely.
any tools or systems that help reduce the time frame of gaining trust is massive in the sales game. Okay, let's go on. What else? I love this one. I think we've gotten this one.
Yeah, I definitely think that we're nailing it, especially if you guys are not familiar with, geo-farming and just covering specific territories. LandVoice is going to take you step by step on literally how to dominate each area and get the best response and get all of the consumers and homeowners just familiarized with who you are, comfortable with your face. When you knock on the door, they answer it with a smile. And that's important if you're really trying to dominate an area and have listings drop on your lap. Farming is all persistency. If you're persistent in an area and you're constantly giving them value, there's no way that they won't feel like you're their trusted source if they're deciding to put their house on the market. And that's why my guy, he's only been in the industry for a couple of years, but he's marketing our area where I live. That's why he does like 10 to 12 listings a month. And he's just, spreading his wings and going even further around. And it takes time, but it's huge for your business.
Right.
Daniel, I'm just going back and forth with what our realtors are doing with the neighborhood search, the marketing material we're providing for flyers and postcards and door hangers. I want you guys to take action. What are we going to do to get these guys to take action and pull the trigger and get things rolling?
Well, I think we should definitely talk about one more tool. I noticed the power dialer, and I wanted.
Oh yeah, you see that?
Yeah, and I wanted to understand this. Is this how do you guys do that? Is this another system that plugs into LandVoice, or what is? Tell me more about that.
Guys, if you're not using a dialer to prospect, you're not covering as much ground as you could. With our neighborhood search, since you have the ability to pull up any targeted area and just prospect, the dialer, if you guys have never used one, is going to help you cover so much more ground. We have a one-line dialer. You call around 120 phone calls in an hour. We have a four-line dialer that gives you the ability to cover like 160 in an hour. And what I love so much about our dialers is our leads sync directly into it. So you literally can turn on an on button and it starts calling every one of your leads one by one. It excludes from calling do not calls. It actually weeds out numbers that don't work. So it basically just skips those. It literally thinks for you, and it helps you cover a lot more ground and stay committed. So if you're doing aggressive farming and you're making your calls to your farm, your targeted areas, we highly recommend the dialer if you guys don't have a dialer system. Not only will you cover a lot more ground and many more properties, the dialer is going to think for you. It's going to not call the DNC numbers. It's going to exclude any numbers that it registers as a non-working number. And again, that's how you guys cover more territory. So I'm glad you brought that up because the dialer is so popular and key to a lot of realtors, business and growth.
Well, I know from our perspective, we have around 500-600 of our virtual professionals utilizing a dialer of some sort because they're hardcore prospecting. So one thing that I want to bring to the group is, if this isn't for you, not everybody wants to be a prospector. Not everybody enjoys face-to-face stuff with like Jonathan and I are doing right now. Not everybody likes that, right? Some people are just they're business people and they want to be in front of the clients and not on the phone with them. So if you have a need and you want to implement this, we have virtual professionals, our virtual assistants, who do these all day long. And what I like about having leverage on this side of your business is it's the number one thing to grow your business beyond referrals. So once you kind of exclude referrals and repeat business and your past clients, this is the number one lead source because everybody is raising their hand and saying, hey, I tried to sell my house, but it didn't work. That's the expired. I want to sell my house, but I don't want to use an agent. So those are these guys want to do a transaction and they've created action towards that transaction. So not calling those people is just it's throwing money away, in my opinion. And our folks,
it really is.
Yeah, our folks are full time. They'll prospect 8 hours a day. doing the expires and Fizzbuzz in the morning, doing the neighborhood searches in the afternoon, creating those marketing materials and doing all that work for you. And it's a no-brainer. If you're really building a business and you really want to grow and you're not currently using one of these systems, I just think you're leaving a lot of money on the table.
I couldn't agree more, especially with what you guys do. You guys are giving realtors the ability to go on appointments regularly and basically just land on doorsteps.
Right.
What you guys do, it's a lot of top-tier realtors are at that level where they have ISAs and assistants, that are making calls for them. But what you guys are doing is you're helping realtors actually just pass that stage. And you guys are being their, trusted source for scheduling appointments, which ultimately gets you guys way more appointments because you make more money out there. So I love that you guys fill that gap and you guys are professionals at what you do. It makes this whole process just seamless.
Well, real estate is a belly-to-belly sport. The more conversations you're having, the more contacts you make every day, the more no's you hear, the more often you're going to hear a yes. And it's a very simple, non-complex world. And if you're talking to a couple hundred people every hour, I mean, you're gonna find 2 or 3 people who are like, yeah, I'm thinking about it. So so let's talk through CRM and how the dialer works inside of a CRM and inland.
Sure.
How does that all connect, and how should it connect? Like if you're setting this up for somebody, how would you make all of this work perfectly?
Oh, it's a piece of cake. So whatever programs, you guys see basically an a la carte of different products that LandVoice provides. Whatever programs you feel are going to work best for you. Your dialer, you have a secure platform that you log into to access your expired leads that we're pulling from MLS and providing you the cell phone numbers. It's a secure password that you log into, and we send you emails every morning to remind you how many leads you received. Don't forget to log into your system to do your prospecting. So these are reminders that we're sending you every morning. Now the dialer, it's incorporated inside the system. So when you log in, it's like an on and an off switch. You turn on the on switch and you put in your headphones or your headset, and it literally starts. You can pick a lead like, okay, I want to call expireds now. And it puts all of your expireds in front of you on your screen. And if you're on your cell phone, it puts all of the expireds on your cell phone or iPad, and it'll make the calls for you. What I love about it is you could do it on your laptop, you could do it on your iPhone, you could do it on your iPad. As long as you have Wi-Fi, you can use your dialer to prospect aggressively. And it's something every realtor needs.
Okay, cool. When would you take a lead? Like, let's do the three things. I want to sell, but I'm not ready yet. I want to sell now, and I'm really not interested, but I'm thinking next year or the year after. What do you do with those 3 leads? Do you transfer them outside of the LandVoice system, or do you put them in your CRM, and how do you follow up with them? And is
Great
that
question.
First
So one of the
thing, or
no, it's obviously nurturing, right? The nurturing process. So if you guys get consumers that are like, yeah, I want to buy, but I need a few months to get things figured out, whatever the case might be, we always recommend that you make very, 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 very detailed notes inside LandVoice, because LandVoice does give you the ability to make notes, and the notes are all stored into your system per the contact. So we teach you how to make tags, like a specific tag. My tag would be 3 months. So I would make a 3-month tag for any homeowner that says, give me 90 days. And inside LandVoice, you can actually go in and type 3 months, and all of the tags that you title 3 months, they'll show up. And all of those homeowners you can follow up with on a regular basis. If you have a CRM where you can, send drip campaigns or, send them different emails, weekly, we highly recommend you do that. LandVoice doesn't give you the capability to do that, but if you have a CRM, one of the things that we teach you guys how to do right away is how to export that data, put it in your CRM, and start nurturing that relationship, which is huge. You already know that. So to answer your question, it's a mini CRM type thing. It's not a completely functional CRM. I would use it just to store notes. But once it became real and you're going to be working with that consumer I would export them and put them in your CRM. I don't suggest that you just export everything and put it into your CRM, and I don't suggest that you sync LandVoice leads with your CRM. It's obviously, helps you save time, but at the same time, you wouldn't want all of that data inside your CRM if it's not someone you're going to be working with. Right. So we show you guys how to do that. Once you establish a contact and it's going further, export this contact into your CRM, and we make sure that you're able to do that seamless so you can continue to use LandVoice efficiently.
That's awesome. So we have we have a pretty big audience, and I want to reach out now and let you guys know if there's any conversations that you want to have, any questions that you want to ask. Now is the time. We only have a few minutes left. The other piece is, Jonathan, you prepared some free giveaways, and I want to talk about those. We also have a special offer. If this is something you want to implement, we've partnered with LandVoice, created kind of a joint thing called Business in a Box, where when you hire one of our virtual assistants, not only are you going to get LandVoice, but you're also going to get the dialer, the 4-number dialer. And you're going to get those for free for 90 days, which is insane. I mean, it's literally a couple $1,000s worth of services. And that's how confident we are with this particular product, and that's how confident we are with our people, is that we're literally going to foot the bill for you to try this strategy out and crush it with it. So we definitely, if you're interested, we're going to have a landing page. It's myoutdesk.com/LandVoice, where you can go and get these free giveaways, plus take advantage of Business in a Box. So Jonathan, what is the giveaway? Like, for being here today, like, what do they get, and how would they use that, and what does that look like? And I mean, really the question is, what's in it for them,
Right. Yeah, definitely. So, what you guys are going to get, you're actually going to get me as your personal trainer as you use LandVoice. We're not going to send you over to the customer service department. As far as setting up your leads and getting everything taken care of, I only take on a certain amount of clients that I know that I could, keep that line of communication open with. So I'm going to be your support rep. I'm going to make sure all of your systems are set up correctly. I'm going to help you set up your own 800 system and figure out all the marketing. So I won't be forwarding you over to our support team. I'm taking you on personally and making sure all of you guys are able to accomplish what I've went over here on the webinar. So I've been doing this for a while, and failure is not an option. It's not an option. I will definitely, call you out and help make sure you guys, hold you accountable, but make sure you get the best of what, get your bang for your buck. We're also going to give you our top scripts. We have agents, like Daniel was saying, 12,000 agents, guys, throughout the country that are tearing things up. And a lot of them give us a sneak peek on their scripts, what they're using to call, different farm areas, different mailers that they send out that they've kind of established as a successful mailer. So we're going to send you guys the different campaigns our top agents are doing, the scripts that they're using, and we want to see if you want to incorporate that in your business. So you can choose from the different scripts that they use. So we're just going to give you a sneak peek. We had to dig in a little deep. We went and called a lot of different clients. We got them to send us some data on scripts, got them to send us some listing packets that are highly effective in their market area, and we're just going to give it to you guys. We want to have you guys take action, and we feel if you have all of our top agents in the country that are literally selling 100 properties a month doing this,
right,
it's just a matter of time before that's you. The opportunity is not going to chase you. You have to give it a bite, and LandVoice is right here at your fingertips.
That's awesome. One of the things, like Tony Robbins, and it's in one of our slide decks, is if you want success, you just have to go find somebody who already has it and model them. And so what you're offering is you've crowdsourced from your top, 12,000 clients, pulled the best of the best, and you're giving it to the audience as a free guide, which I think is phenomenal. And then on top of that, you're giving your time. It's the only asset that you can't buy more of. It's the only asset that once it's used, it's gone, right? And so I think that's awesome. I want to close, Jonathan, with what not to do. because everybody's listening has heard all of the good things that you can do, but you've also probably seen clients come on board, try Land Voice, and screw it up. So
Right.
what shouldn't I do? And let's end with like a powerful call to action. Again, our website, go to myOutDesk.com/Land Voice. That's where you're going to get all this goodness that Jonathan's talking about. But what are the key ways not to win with Land Voice, and so that our people don't make that
I love that you asked that. I love that you're asking that. Guys, this is going to work if you pick up the phone and you carve out an hour every day to do prospecting, or if you have MyOutDesk do it for you. What not to do, don't just sit there on your fingers. Don't just sit there and watch all this opportunity pass you. Land Voice is going to give you expireds and Fizzbuzz every morning. These are the low-hanging fruit that realtors are competing for and getting new listings. I'm sure a lot of you guys have kind of self-checked yourself at times and seen other realtors gaining new listings in new areas, and you're like, I'm a better realtor than this guy. And It's not that you're not. It's that he probably has a system and phone numbers that give him access to data that gives him the ability to gain new listings.
Yeah.
So don't let another person that's not better than you literally tear up your market area with them. I want you guys to be, the realtor that seizes the opportunity. It's out there. We're looking at all of the Fizzbuzz and expireds that we're accumulating. It's busy. There's Fizzbuzz putting their home on the market all over the country in vast numbers. So don't get Land Voice and not call your leads. Don't get Land Voice and not schedule a training call to get the steps going to get up and running with our program.
Right.
We want you guys to get out there and seize the opportunity. It's not gonna come to you. You have to be the one that makes the decision, carves out the time, and follows a consistent process, and you'll see it. You'll see this last quarter, crush any quarter that you've ever had.
Right, Jonathan. How long? If I get started, like this week, I sign up for Land Voice. I take advantage of Business in a Box, which, by the way, we have a partnership with Power Dialer that is what you guys are plugged into. So we have a partnership with them in Business in a Box. We will get you a virtual professional to help, do the prospecting and all this busy work behind the scenes. We also have a CRM. We also have a marketing platform. So we have not only this tool, but everything that you're going to need in order to crush your market. I mean, I love our listings to leads, which is our listings marketing platform. We have several of the CRMs, the top ones, Top Producer, Firepoint, RealVolve. I've got a good friend in my area who just signed up for one of them, and he's like 3 weeks in, and he's like, God, this is the awesomest CRM I've ever had. And so we basically taken everything you need to crush your real estate game, put it into one spot, and then giving you not only the systems and tools, but also the people to drive revenue. But I had a question in there, Jonathan, and then I just kept talking. How long from start to seeing results are we talking
Guys, if you're calling expires or Fizzbuzz or having MyOutDesk, I guarantee you probably get 1 to 2 new listings in the first month. With calling expireds, Fizzbuzz, and pre-foreclosures, our average realtor does 3 to 5 listings a month with that package. If they're prospecting for an hour to an hour and a half, hour to an hour and a half, you guys got to pull the trigger on Land Voice. We have the data here for you guys. We've been doing this since the early 90s. We have 12,000 agents that are successfully using us. Mm-hmm. We have duplicatable patterns that you guys are going to use. And I already know what type of results you guys are going to get if you put the time into it. Yep. So I'm looking forward to holding all of your hands and making sure that you guys use Land Voice forever.
Well, on that note, Jonathan, again, thank you so much for your time. This has been
my pleasure.
I really feel like we finally dove in and got the good value for our audience. I think we're having salesdialer.com on tomorrow or the next day. I know it's happening this week. So we're going to even dive deeper in how to automate your prospecting. That's our next topic. So, we've got the system here, Land Voice, and now we're going to talk about how to automate the prospecting process within your office, how to use our virtual assistants to actually drive that revenue. It's really important when you hire talent, you're hiring the best talent, and that's what we do. That's our value proposition. We match and we find talent for you, and we love doing that. Jonathan, again, thank you for your time. This has been phenomenal. And I'm going to hold you to you promising to help all of our clients. So I'm going to make sure.
I'm taking them all in. Any one of you guys that make a commitment, I'm going to be your guy. So right. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, awesome. Guys, thanks for your time. We've appreciated you so much today. You know, Q4 is here. Let's get ready for next year, man. You got to crush it. You got to get the systems and the processes in place. Again, Daniel Ramsey from MyOutDesk. Thank you so much for your time, Jonathan.
My pleasure. You guys have a good one.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.